Spontaneous is a brand new, let's see, how to classify this. It's like a teen rom-com slash sci-fi horror-ish. I don't know. I really don't know. But I rented this from Redbox randomly. I had no idea what it was about. The reason I rented it is because it is from the writer of The Babysitter, Underwater, Love and Monsters. And this is his directorial debut. And he also wrote it, and I think it's adapted from a book, which I did not know anything about. So I went in completely blind, and I really enjoyed it. A lot. Had a lot of fun with this movie. But I definitely have some shit to say about it right now. But if you want to go in blind, you know, and that sounds like there's some body horror, I guess, is as much as I'll give away as far as that goes for the moment before I get into a plot synopsis. But yeah, it's kind of like a coming of age romantic comedy. Two teens are in love and shit's going down around them. So that might be your thing, it might not be, but if you like the movies that this guy's made, this might be for you. And it's very R-rated, so that's good. You know, it's not like super gory or anything, but the people in it talk candidly. Yeah. So anyway, what this is about, for a plot synopsis, is that these kids are going to this high school, and all, well, we'll just say one of the kids, while they are in class, just spontaneously combusts, just explodes out of fucking nowhere. And I didn't know what the hell this movie was about. I just thought it was kids like maybe being spontaneous about killing people. I had no clue. So when it was actually spontaneous combustion, I really was like, oh, okay, this is the route we're going to go with this movie. And then throughout the rest of the movie, one by one, these kids just kind of keep exploding, and they're trying to figure out how to like navigate their life, knowing that literally they could explode at any moment. And I think that this makes for a lot of really good comedy and a lot of really good drama. You can kind of draw from either of those things pretty easily if you're a good enough writer, and this guy just so happens to be. And Catherine Langford, right? From like 13 Reasons Why and whatnot. She is the lead. And then a kid named Charlie Plummer, who I recognize, but I know it, but it's just escaping my mind right now. But they're the romantic couple in the film, and I just loved them together. I thought they were super sweet and sincere, and I really bought into their romance. They really sold it to me. I really genuinely thought that they were like a couple, like they had chemistry and they played off of each other well. Their dynamic really worked. So that was a big part of it. Catherine Langford was really good in this. Really funny, very sarcastic. You know, the girl who's down on her luck. She thinks she can die at any moment, so she's kind of rebelling against everything. She becomes obsessed with alcohol and trying new drugs and anything because she could die at any moment. You know, honestly, my personal takeaway, now everyone's going to have a different, feeling that comes from any movie that they watch, but my personal takeaway from the spontaneous film is it kind of mirrors the way someone like myself, a full-blown health anxiety ridden hypochondriac who thinks he could literally die at any moment, I felt that throughout this film. And that's what's on display here. It's just kids that are walking around and are like, am I going to blow up? Am I going to die right now? Literally. And there's such an anxiety about that in the movie, because the entire time it keeps setting up these scenes where I'm like, who's going to blow up right now? I was really, outside of our lead character, who I was pretty convinced wasn't going to blow up, I wasn't convinced anyone else wasn't going to. Honestly, at any moment I was like, oh shit, this person could blow up right now. And it gave me a tad bit of anxiety while watching it, almost, living it through their eyes. And it I don't know, it actually was kind of helpful in a way for me. The way the protagonists handled this situation. And just kind of the fuck it, we all could die at any moment, which is kind of the message of the film, I would say. And that's not much of a spoiler. I think you guys can probably figure that kind of stuff out. But it's just that, yeah, any of us can die at any moment. No matter how healthy, no matter how young, no matter how whatever. You could die right now. I could die doing this review for some weird reason. A fucking asteroid could come down and hit me, and my heart could stop in my chest, whatever. And it's a terrifying thought, but it's definitely not something you should dwell on, like I have for so many years of my life. Now, it's easier said than done, of course, and I'm not trying to make it seem simplistic, because it isn't. Trust me, I know. But I feel like this and other films that have kind of similar themes to them, like you could die at any moment, are good for someone like myself to watch, to kind of reiterate to me that you've got to stop worrying about something you have no control over. Now, of course, that's always been my issue, is that I have no control over it, and so I hate it, because I'm a bit of a control freak. A bit is an understatement for sure. So it is tough for me. But getting back to the film, the thing I could see people not, some people not caring for, is that it does have a little bit of a political agenda with it at times. Very minuscule, to be completely honest. But there's a anti-Trump sentiment to it a few times in the film, which in these extremely sensitive, volatile times, I could see some people getting like really upset about, or like being like, oh, it's fucking typical liberal bullshit, whatever. I mean, I didn't have that issue, but I could see that going in that way for some people. Another thing that I thought was really interesting about this movie was that there were no antagonists. The antagonist was mostly just, the ticking time bomb that was their body. There's no, like, bullies in this. Like, they're all going to high school together, and yeah, they're scared, but no one's a dick. There's not, like, that shitty, bully chick or guy, the jock or the cheerleader who's talking trash to people, and that's completely void in this film, which I kept expecting it to come, because these high school comedies like this typically feature very stereotypical characters, and this one doesn't really have any of them. It's just kind of real kids. These feel like real kids, and it didn't just stick to the tropes of bullies, and there's the stoner kid, and there's the dorky kid, and there's that. Like, if that's there, it's so minuscule I didn't even notice it. You know what I mean? It just felt like those are normal kids, and I was very thankful for that. I'm it's fine. It happens in movies, and I've just kind of grown used to it. But it was a good break from not getting that shitty character that you're like, oh fuck, I can't wait for them to blow up. No, this is very much just focused on this kid's life and how she's navigating and dealing with the inevitability she feels of dying at any moment, and her boyfriend dying at any moment, her best friend dying at any moment, and their parents and how they're dealing with it. She has her parents in this. One of them is an actor I know from the show Human Giant with Aziz Ansari. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but he's very good here as her father. And then her mom, who I recognize, very pretty woman. I'm yet another face that I'm like, I know you. I knew you, kind of person. But everyone's really good here. The humor is really good. Like, I laughed a lot. Like, I laughed a good amount. These are very clever, witty, fun characters that I genuinely liked. throughout. And then the dramatic beats, I felt it, man. There were so many moments in the film where the dad or one of the classmates or our main characters would say something that would emotionally resonate with me. I'd be like, they would talk about what was going on and maybe their nihilistic perspective towards it or their optimistic perspective towards it or whatever. And I felt like almost all of them, if not all of them, landed for me. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, that is true. Ouch. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that, or like, I didn't think of that yet, or, I can feel them, I can empathize, or whatever. So I really enjoyed the hell out of this. This is a big surprise. I had no idea this was coming out. I knew nothing about it, and going in blind was a treat for me, because anytime that happens, it's wonderful. And I think this is hopefully gonna get some recognition. I don't know anyone talking about it yet, but I don't know when it came out. I think it's pretty new. I think it's within the week, so it would make sense that no one has talked about it yet. But I hope that once it's had some time to be out there, that people will get some eyes on it, because it's a super fun teen comedy, which has some body horror elements to it. But yeah, let me know if you watch it. I'm going to be looking in the comments for kind of the general consensus, as always. I hope people are really enjoying this one, because it's super fun and the characters are great, and it is kind of a heavy situation made pretty funny. So yeah, let me know. Adios.